Women will show up for you in very different ways. Women are going to love you in very different ways. You cannot expect every woman to do it exactly the same. Maybe Shorty can't even cook for real. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Chances are a lot of these chicks are just being lazy. She can learn to cook one favorite meal for you very well. Joseph, welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Tisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
This video is titled, Not All Women Cook. What else does she do for you? So this video is featuring a relationship coach. We've actually reacted to some of her videos in the past. Straight modern woman. She also dates and talks about the men she's dating. And I don't think that she's currently married anyways. Let's check it out.
So I just had a conversation with my homeboy, right? Your story, okay? And so he called and he's like, you know, what you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm over here cooking for my man and my kids, because he took my son and his son to go play ball. So my son is about to be 15, his son is about to be 14, right? So they went to go play ball. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna cook them their little dinner, so when they get home, everybody can eat. So my friend is like, damn, like I wish my shorty would do that. I wish she would cook, and so on and so forth. I'm just like, well, have you expressed this to her? He was like, I don't feel like I should have to, because like I take care of her, I hold it down, which I know him as a man, and I know that he really does these things. And I know he likes his woman, right? So I know she's getting that treatment. So I'm like, okay, well, does she feed you at all? Like, if you're out all day and she's at the crib, like, is there food? He's like, yeah, she'll order, but I want a home cooked meal. So then he continues to go on to saying, you know, I just want a woman that's more traditional like you. I said, oh, hold on, wait a minute. Let me be very, very clear. It's not that I'm not traditional, because I am. In very many ways, I do believe in modern gender roles, right? In the modern sense of traditional. And I still even lean more towards traditional than to modern, right?
Modern gender roles. This chick's not, it's far from traditional, far from what I've seen. From what I've seen, listening to her talk prior videos, no.
But something else that has to be understood about me is that I like to cook for my man. I enjoy it. It is something that when my man is taking care of me, I want to take care of him in any way possible. And to me, cooking is one of them. He don't got to ask for it, which he did not. He don't got to drop clues. I just got to feel loved and prioritized and know this man is taking care of me in the manner I need him to take care of me. That's it. Here's the thing though. Not all women show their love through food. Some are going to show their love through buying you things. Some are going to show their love through showing up for you in different ways. Some are going to show their love for always being around and being there, right? It just depends on the particular type of woman. And so I asked him, I said, you know, well, what does she do for you? Like, how do you feel reciprocated in a relationship? He's like, you know what? I really don't know. And I said, you know what? You are lying, because you are a smart man. And you're not going to be with a woman who's not giving you what you are giving to her. Like, I know that. So I said, rack your brain and tell me. So he starts reeling off all these things that she does. She brings him his lunch, not cooked lunch, but like she'll go and buy it and bring it to him. And she'll make sure like the house is clean. If she's at his house, she'll make sure the house is clean before he gets in, if she knew he had a long day. And she'll go and like buy him like clothes and stuff if he has a meeting, so on and so forth. So I'm just like, okay, well, baby, what else did you want? You don't feel like those things is her filling in a capacity to make your life easier, to show you that you are loved? And after we talked for a little bit, he started to get it. He was like, you know what? Yeah, you are right. Like, I'm kind of tripping. I'm like, yeah, you definitely tripping. Let me tell you something, fellas. Women will show up for you in very different ways. Women are going to love you in very different ways. You cannot expect every woman to do it exactly the same. Maybe Shorty can't even cook for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you are feeling loved and prioritized, and you're feeling like what you're giving is being reciprocated, I mean, what else are we talking about for real? Like, you know what I mean? Stay safe.
All right. So here's what's surprising, right? I am going to agree with the point that you made about women bringing different strengths to a relationship depending on who she is as a person. This is true. There's a difference. There's a difference between a woman who actually enjoys cooking and a woman who cooks because she knows her man likes that she cooks once in a while. And both of those women's efforts are appreciated. But what I want to encourage you guys to do is don't let them off too easy. When I say this, I don't mean that don't expect a woman who doesn't like to cook to eventually enjoy cooking. No. When I say don't let a woman off too easy, I mean she should do a little bit, so you can also enjoy the things that you value. For example, if you're a man who likes a home-cooked meal and you're with a woman who really doesn't like to cook, or maybe she doesn't know how to cook that well, there's a place you can meet your woman where you'll be happy and she won't feel insecure because she can't provide you with what you value. And one of the ways to do that is, especially when it comes to cooking, is ask your chick to just learn one meal and just start with one. And this is for men out here who are with women who claim that they don't like to cook and so they don't cook. No. Don't let them off that easy. Just start with one meal that she can learn to make for you. And that may be the only meal she makes for you. And when she cooks that meal, you have to be realistic and understand that, like, okay, she learned this meal, she cooks it well. You'll be satisfied. She'll be happy that she went out of her way to learn to do something that was difficult to her for you. I didn't really have that problem. I'm married to somebody who literally traveled to another country with me, learned to cook my traditional food, and it was much appreciated. But where I see a lot of guys go wrong is they kind of just look at their chick, don't talk about how much they actually want them to cook, and they don't start simple. Cooking isn't hard. Yes, it's challenging for people who don't enjoy it, but it's really like everything else, bro. There's YouTube, there are cookbooks out here. Any woman can learn. Chances are a lot of these chicks are just being lazy. She can learn to cook one favorite meal for you very well. Because every man has that one meal that he loves. And you need to be honest enough to have these conversations. Not sit down and wish things were different. No, if you don't have that type of relationship with your wife, fiance, woman, girlfriend, whatever, where you guys can't talk about this stuff, that would be the least of your worries, would be the food. And listen, maybe there's a particular way you like that one meal cooked. Just start with one, bro. Maybe there's a particular way you like that one meal cooked and your mother knows how to cook it. Maybe she needs to spend some time with mom, drink the coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
And she shouldn't see that as an insult. And sometimes you might need to do stuff for her that she just wants to see her man do, even if you can pay for it or outsource it. There's just some things that women appreciate and want to see their man do. It's not that hard to cook. There's so many videos, there's so many step-by-step tutorials to cook almost anything out here. They just need to follow that thing like their life depends on it. Because at the end of the day, when you are married to somebody, that's your life, right? Let's check out some of these comments and see what the people have to say. This comment says, too busy comparing and not seeing his blessings and all the great ways she adds to his life. Here's somebody else who says, comparison is the thief of joy. And the woman responded back and says, say that. I also want to make this comment. Notice how chicks will say there's nothing wrong with male friends and I can be cordial with my male friends when they end up in situations like this. Him saying, well, I wish my wife was like that or my woman was like that. You could argue that he was comparing or maybe trying to shoot a shot, whatever you may say. This could all be fixed by not having male friends and keeping those people as acquaintances. It doesn't mean you can't talk to them once in a while. But this sounds like, oh, my homeboy. Sounds like they spend a lot of time talking to each other. This commenter says that good brother is way too out of pocket telling a woman he wish his woman was like you. 3,000 likes on that comment. This woman says, see, I hate cooking, so that's not how I show love. Another uncomfortable truth. Women not liking to cook, not knowing how to cook, which is really what it is a product of them not being raised to be wives. A lot of these chicks weren't raised to say, hey, let's prepare you for a man. If they thought that way, then they'll be prioritizing time in learning to do things that men appreciate, like cooking. And if you're bad at something, chances are you're not going to spend a lot of time doing it. There are more and more women out here who get out-cooked in the kitchen. Men are cooking better than most women today. Somebody else who says maybe she doesn't like cooking, and that's something he should have asked about when they began to know each other. Yeah. Here's somebody else who says they've been programmed to weigh cooking over everything. It's quite sad. Oh, now you've been programmed. Not that you enjoy it, but you've been programmed. Were you programmed to make sure a man pays for the first date? Somebody else here added, sounds like he was trying to shoot his shot. Here's another person who says, it's good he has a friend like you. I don't know. Unfortunately, not many women would have validated the other woman. Now they're praising this chick. Oh yeah, continue being friends with him. I'd be like, that doesn't seem like a good friendship for his situation, right? Here's another comment that says, I wish my girl was more like you is crazy work. Somebody else here added, I don't like cooking, and honestly, my man will have to understand that. Again, don't let them off that easy, gentlemen. They should at least make one meal very, very well. And they can learn that. This is not an impossible thing to ask anybody. Here's another comment that says, I tried to explain this to my ex. I'm a gift giver. I paid my housekeeper to clean his crib, and he said, if you loved me, you'd have done it yourself. Now, this is also another situation where it's like, okay, so she wants to pay for a housekeeper. If you really appreciate, and some people appreciate this, a woman coming and cleaning your place, you can agree and have conversations on, can she do that once a month? I'm being very serious here, guys. Whatever it is, if it truly brings that person validation, then you should consider if that's something somebody else can do. These are the conversations that you have in long-lasting relationships. Somebody else here says, why doesn't he suggest they cook together? And the reason why I said once a month, guys, because that's a ridiculous thing for somebody to say no to. It's like, no, I do not want to clean, not even once a month. Back into this comment, this chick says, why doesn't he suggest they cook together? Maybe once she sees how happy this makes him, she'll want to reciprocate, or that can be a them thing. This whole like passive, let's cook together and say it. Have the conversation. Have the conversation. Be vulnerable. As a man, it's going to be challenging, but have the conversation. Here's somebody else who says, sounds like that was him making a pass at you. Hint, hint. Of course, I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Have you run into this issue yourself? And how have you dealt with it? Till next time, I'm out. Peace.